Hello, I'm Dr. Kit Slythe, psychologist and life coach, and I'm here to inspire your self-compassion, confidence, and growth. And today I wanted to talk about this notion of transformation and what that really involves. And there's different kinds of transformation. Sometimes we just experience an inner transformation when something happens to us. Could be something happy, could be something sad or traumatic, and we change internally as a result of that. But that's not what I'm talking about today. I'm talking about transformation that we're intentionally seeking. And I'm talking about what happens when we're feeling stuck in seeking that transformation. And maybe we go from feeling really inspired and motivated to grow and transform to then feeling um, fearful and overwhelmed and never really seem to get to where we're trying to go with that transformation. Specifically, what I want to talk about is transformation in the context of different parts of ourselves that might be relevant. And the thing to keep in mind, well, here's why this is important to understand, is because when we don't understand this process, we can think that our stuckness is wrong or somehow we're not supposed to be there, but your stuckness is actually part of the process. It's part of how we grow and transform. So I wanted to shine the light on something that might be happening for you. It happens to me when I'm going through transformation or working towards a goal. And this is, again, when we have seemingly opposite parts of ourself at play. And in order to have transformation, these parts that aren't talking or communicating need to meet. But let's look at what's actually happening before they meet. On one end of the spectrum of sort of these opposite polar parts of ourselves, we have this part that's represented by fear or restriction or something like that. And then on the other end of the spectrum, there might be this expansive feeling. And so, what's happening over here, the fear part, when that part is cloaked in darkness, that's when it's like the big, scary, like grand Wizard of Oz that we don't, it seems so much bigger than what it really is. But we can pull back that curtain to reveal it for what it really is. And so, what's actually happening over here with fear is that there's a part of ourself that's trying to protect us. You might call this part of yourself your protector, your protectress, or any other name that fits for you. This part of us is responding to a fear. Now, this part of us can respond to an actual threat in our environment, or what we're really talking about in this transformation notion here, it's responding to an inner fear, something that our brain is saying, hey, don't do that big scary thing. It's not safe. It's dangerous. All these bad things are going to happen. So our protector or protectress swoops in. It's like, all right, I'm going to protect you from all these big, bad, scary things. So what do we do with that? How do we pull back the curtain and reveal her or him as this part of us is just trying to help? Well, we want to ask, so what? So what if this thing happens that you're trying to protect me from? There goes my phone. Let me turn that off. So what if that thing happens? When I ask that, usually my answer is, oh, I could probably handle it. Okay, yeah, it might suck, but I could probably handle it. Or, here's a good one that sometimes happens when I ask my protector, my protectress, so what? I'm like, oh, actually, that could be an opportunity. Like if this big scary thing happened, I would be in a position where I might have to like show up in a different way, and it could maybe grow from that, or have some other kind of opportunity that I wasn't really planning on, but could be really good. So we want to really expose it. We want to ask also, we can ask the protector part of us, we can ask, okay, so you're saying this big scary thing might happen. Do you have any evidence to support that prediction? No, nothing? Or maybe like a little bit of evidence, but it's not very strong. Okay, all these things we want to use to deflate some of that fear so that we can allow our protector to meet the other part of us. Okay, and this is a part of us that we have to meet and acknowledge in order to have transformation. This is the part of you, we could call it maybe your dreamer part of yourself. This is the part of you that dreams, imagines, and drafts grand designs, or sometimes they draft endless daily mundane to-do lists that never get done or completed, right? It's a part of us, um, again, the dreaming, that can create its own issues. The dreaming can make us feel overwhelmed with possibilities. How would I even ever get there? Or the to-do list can sometimes sidetrack us. This is a part of us that dreams and has these visions, but isn't good at following through on them for a variety of reasons. One of those reasons might be that our protector part swoops back in and sort of takes the dreams and says, whoa, 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 wait a second. That's so they could say a lot of things. They could say like, oh, that sounds like a lot of work. And I don't want to do that. Or it might say, um, ooh, well, okay, if we do make that dream happen, now we've got all these added responsibilities, and I don't want to do that either, right? Or okay, here's the other thing that the protector might be protecting us from when we're dreaming is um, like failure, right? Like, ooh, that's a big dream. Are you sure you can take that on? Because I don't know. I want to protect you from failure, right? That's a whole other topic we could talk about for another day. But what happens is we have these parts of ourselves, and I have my notes here that I'm referencing. We have these parts of ourselves. They're both well-intentioned. The protector is protecting us. Dreamers dreaming big. We're not going to get anywhere without dreams. We're not going to grow and transform without those dreams. But we get stuck when all we do is go back and forth between dreaming, protector swoops in with all the things it's like saving us from, and then we're feeling anxious maybe and really activated, but not in a way that we're actually able to get anything productive done. Or then we're going to swoop back to maybe, oh, I'm going to start dreaming again. Maybe we feel overwhelmed and just want to completely give up over here when we're dreaming sometimes. And so in order for transformation to occur, these polar opposite parts of us have to meet somewhere here in the middle. Doesn't have to be perfectly in the middle. There can be a little bit of movement from side to side, from protecting to dreaming, and we need the protector. We need parts of that. We need the parts of the dreamer, but they've got to meet. They've got to talk to each other so that this can turn into action. Because otherwise, it's inaction on either end for different reasons, right? Either like the anxious anxiety, overdoing of non-productive things, or sort of like the giving up. When our protector and our dreamer meet, the protector can say, hey, what about this big scary thing and this big scary thing and this big scary thing? What are you going to do about that, huh? And the dreamer can say, oh, good point, protector. I'll dream up some plans for that. And then can we do something about that? That's what happens here in the middle. But if you're ignoring the fear, the protector part of ourself, or if you're only living in dreamland, or if you're going back and forth between the two and never meeting in the middle, that's when we feel stuck. So in this way, this is how we transform. And how do you allow these parts of yourself to meet? You talk to them. You acknowledge the strength and wisdom in each. Um, for me, sometimes I will do this every day when I'm in a particular transformation. I will elicit my dreamer and my protector part in different ways. I will elicit the feelings of inspiration and motivation that might come from my dreamer. And I will elicit the barriers and things, practical things that I might need to overcome in order to move forward in my transformation, and then let them meet to inspire actual action. And I said it in the beginning that this is a normal process, right? That process of being stuck, of going back and forth, that's actually part of the process. We can't actually skip past that and then transform. So it's okay to be in the stuck place, stuck, where you're vacillating back and forth. But just know that the way through that stuckness is to allow those parts to meet. And that's how you find transformation, through different parts of yourself. I hope that this was helpful and contributes in some way to self compassion, to accepting that it's okay to be stuck. Have compassion for yourself in that moment. Don't try to fight it because it's normal. Confidence, feel confident that this process is normal and that you have a new tool now, hopefully, to get through it, and growth. I hope that you find this helpful in your growth. Bye for now.